Greetings and salutations, Earthlings. I'm gonna move you back a little bit. Happy autumnal equinox, first of all. Okay, so today's astrology report. I'm kind of trying to temper the astrology talk and all that, but what I want to say about today, the thing I love about astrology, and especially like self-improvement or life momentum kind of stuff, is that there are always cycles that you can kind of hop onto to like start things out, or like I go by the lunar cycle, and every about month the moon goes through a house in my chart. There are 12 houses in the birth chart. So whenever it goes through each house, I choose that moon cycle to set intentions on the new moon, and then let things go or celebrate achievements on the full moon. So I like that there are different cycles. You can do like month cycles, 2-week cycles. You could do your solar return, which is your birthday, which is a year-long cycle. You can do like Jupiter through the houses, which is like a 12-13 year cycle. Anyway, whatever. I like cycles, I guess is what I'm really getting at. But okay, so today is September 22nd, but it's also the autumnal equinox. And so the year is divided into 4 segments, okay? And each of those segments in astrology is started with a cardinal sign. Cardinal signs, which are Aries, Cancer, Libra, and Capricorn. Cardinal signs start things, okay? I'm gonna turn that off. So it's about leadership, starting things off, beginning a project. Basically, it goes loosely with the seasons, okay? And we are in, we're in the US, so like right now, we're heading into fall. That's not true when you get down to like Australia and stuff. So I'm careful. And then you have places like in Texas. I left on Friday. What day? No. I left Monday and it was 100 degrees. And then I got to Denver and it was like 50 degrees. So, seasons are different in different places. But basically, cardinal signs, Aries, Cancer, Libra, and Capricorn are they begin things, okay? So whether or not it's a season or whatever, it's that leadership, starting off new things, taking charge, taking the lead. So what I wanted to do is look at the report for today, because not only is it a report for today, but it's sort of an imprint of what the next approximately 3 months until Capricorn season might look like. So we have entered into Libra, and Libra is balance, harmony. It's being cognizant of other people, taking other people's opinions and ideas into account. It'll be interesting and honestly kind of nice to see if that fucking pans out, because for the first, 6 zodiac signs, we're going a lot through an inner journey, okay? And then this journey feels, from Libra onto Pisces, we're looking more at other people. But one thing that is on the chart, and it's what I talked to during the Pisces full moon. Excuse me. Forgot to bring water down here. But Mercury is heading into retrograde. and it, you know, it's going direct right now. Basically, it's going to maintain a square with Pluto, which it's in right now, and it's going to be in a pretty tough square for about a week because it's going forward, but it's slowing down, and then it's going to retrograde and keep that square going for a bit. So I personally have just, I want to say really in my head, but not in a bad way. I've been probing my thoughts, okay? I've been really meta about the thoughts in my head and evaluating them. And it's, stuff is coming up constantly that I'm like, ooh, I need to look at that. I need to look at that. I was driving the other day and yesterday, and there was this truck that pulled out in front of me, and it was a construction truck, and it had a big sign on it on the back, like a big one of those orange stripe signs, and it was huge, and it said road closed ahead. But the truck was driving, but I'm always afraid of fucking up, and that's my biggest problem. Like, even making a mistake in the flow of traffic, what is fucking wrong with me? That's what this Mercury Pluto is kind of doing. And instead of just bypassing that, I'm really looking into what the fuck is wrong with me, okay? Because I was driving behind it and the truck is moving, and there were other cars around. Clearly, the sign was on the back of the truck and he was transporting it somewhere else. But there was this little voice back here that's like, are they going to close the road? Like, should you really be driving behind that truck? Because there was construction and everything every which way. And I just thought it was really funny. I was driving behind a truck that had a big road closed ahead sign on it. And there's my, you know, I want to say ego, but I think ego gets a really bad rap. But there's this voice in my head saying, maybe I shouldn't be doing what I'm doing. Maybe the road is going to close. Maybe, you know, and it started me thinking about all of the times in my life when I was heading in a direction or wanted to get in a direction. And I took indicators that there was a road closure or something, like that wasn't the way to go. And I just didn't go that way. And it got me onto this really fun, trippy, like exploratory, like, well, maybe sometimes you follow a road closed sign up until it closes, and maybe it doesn't ever close. Maybe it's just transporting and you just follow it up to the point that it's closed. This is reminding me now of another story when I was married to my ex-husband, and we were trying to get to Chicago to visit his family, and the weather was horrendous. It was horrendous. And every stretch, we were going from Colorado to Illinois, every stretch of the highway, we would start seeing behind us, like that they were closing the road right after us. But we just kept going. I mean, and we were safe. It was kind of like heinous driving, but sometimes life is like that, or like, God, I'm sure there are so many examples of that. It's why there's the thing of don't quit before the miracle happens, because you never know when you might break through. Before, when I wouldn't do what I wanted to do, it was because I didn't want to fucking be judged for it, in case I had to turn around and go another way. But really, so what if you have to turn around and go another way? If you're feeling called to walk up to a road closed sign, then like go up to it and see what's going on there. I don't know. There's my computer just dimmed. There's something to that, but this Mercury, our minds, squaring Pluto, which is our subconscious. It's about power and control. Who controls us? Who are we trying to control? It just has us looking really deeply at the thoughts that go through our mind. And some people might not enjoy that. It's not always enjoyable, when I've been doing real exploratory mind stuff, I have to look at myself with a very open, an openness to being wrong, and not doing the right thing. And that sucks. But once you look at that part of yourself, and then you can go backwards and sort of figure out why, not in a rationalization or excuse making kind of way, but in a way that you can love where you were when you did what you did, right? Even if you don't want to necessarily repeat it. Okay, so there's that. I think that this transit plus through the retrograde, this is what we're going to be going through. We're going to be this may become highlighted because of relationships, but also because it is part of this autumn equinox chart. I think that this really deep getting into our thoughts might stick with us for this season, essentially, until Capricorn, but I'll be curious to see how that goes. Anywho, another alignment that is going to be prominent in this chart is Venus is moving into, oh heck yeah, it's within a degree. Venus is opposing Uranus. Venus is our wants, our desires, relationships, finances, what makes us feel good. Okay. Venus is in Scorpio, so she doesn't really like it there, and she's opposing Uranus. Uranus is in Taurus. Uranus is about higher thinking, breakthroughs, especially when it comes to your thoughts and stuff like that. But Uranus is the higher mind. That Mercury is the daily, the logical, the thinking mind. So we have these things going on with our mind. Venus in opposition, Venus in Scorpio could be digging up secrets, or we got to be careful for manipulation there, or projecting our shadow onto other people. But in discovering secrets, Venus in Scorpio opposing Uranus, Uranus being breakthroughs, explosive energy, authenticity. It could be that we find a secret that fucking sucks, or whatever, or a secret is found out about us. And I'm thinking of me going to rehab and having to admit that I had a problem. It was shitty at first, because I was trying to keep my house of cards together, even though cards kept floating down, and I would hurry up and put them back. It was a house of cards. Okay. It had to fall. And it was awful. But literally, as soon as I decided I was going to go to rehab and do the thing, and I told, even though it meant going to court and telling a judge that, I couldn't have my kids, that I had to take care of me. I said that, and there's a freedom in secrets being revealed, because it's then you don't have anything to hide. There's nothing to hide. So that I wanted to share that about today, okay? Because I feel this energy, we're going into some tough astrology. We've got a retrograde, we've got an unhappy Venus, an unhappy Mars, a retrograding Mercury. Come October, I can't remember in what order, but Pluto and Saturn are going to come out of retrograde, right? But Pluto and Saturn aren't party planets, really. So I think the winter might be fun. No, I mean, funny if you have a dark sense of humor. I think that the winter has the potential for some obstacles, okay? But we learn the most through our obstacles. I know I have. But yes, when you have thoughts come up, when you have like a sudden judgment or a sudden, like, let your mind be like, why am I like that? What the fuck is wrong with me? And don't just say it, but actually go in and try to figure it out. The other day, I sat down to meditate, and it was hilarious because all of the sudden, and I saw it just like this, a bunch of thoughts in my head were like little kids jumping up, like, pay attention to me, pay attention to me. We're worried about this. Nobody's going to like you. How are you going to make money? You never have enough money. I mean, like, and they were, and then this part of me just showed up and like picked each one up and gave it a hug and was like, they're there. I know. And it was so fucking cool. Like, it was super cool. And I felt a lot better after the meditation. Anyway, don't even call it meditation. That's a whole nother video that I was thinking of doing. But do try to make a point to sit with yourself and have some quiet time. And everything about you will probably protest it. I love my meditation time. And it's like, I love taking a shower, but sometimes like getting up and going through the process of getting in the shower, it's like, and then once you're in there, you're like, oh, okay. Actually, psych, meditation isn't like that, because you do have to get through this like thought. And that's okay. That's why we're doing it. And eventually space is created. Okay. I got to get going. Anyway, God, I can never stand the fucking lighting. I'm working on it. I'm here. Have a great day on Earth. Peace. Namaste. Oops, wrong mouse.